Sure, you've heard the saying, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Here's the question. How do we get our planets to align when we communicate to avoid miscommunication in order so that we can run to each other rather than run from each other? Hey, I'm mic'd up. You know how we do it. Let's mix it up. Family, what's going on? It's your main man, 100 grand. Hopefully you are having a great day in a great way. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie. Thank you so much for tuning in. I need you to hit the thumbs up button on this video. We're going to have a courageous conversation. It's going to be an explosion. Yeah, of inspiration. I want to talk about this topic today, Manglish. Yeah, I know you speak English. Whatever language you speak, clearly you can understand me is why you're tuning in. Manglish, how to speak the language of your man. Ladies, you want to lean in on this one. How to speak the language of your man. How important are words to a man? Yeah. Come on, family, type lean in. Lean in. He's leaning in my direction. Of course, as you know, we're having a courageous conversation. This is a channel for change. This is a channel that brings change. This is a channel that breaks chains. And so we're not having a battle of the sexes conversation. This is all about communication. We got to get on one accord communicatively as we connect. How important are words to a man? More than you realize. These are some secrets that women need to know and that men wish women knew. And so we're going to lean into this because oftentimes we communicate oftentimes to disagree. My way or no way. No way is okay. You need to be on my side. You need to think how I think. You need to talk the way that I talk. Or you're really not particularly on my level. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. A lot of times we're loving people the way that we think they need to be loved versus loving people the way that they really, really, truly need to be loved. And to do that, you could really have to understand who the person is, simply because none of us were raised to be with each other. I have to dwell according to knowledge to get to learn you, to get to know you. You know what? You really don't know somebody until you're in a specific situation where life gets a little stormy. Life gets a little rocky. You really don't know somebody until you really go through the seasons with people. Spring, summer, winter, fall. Sometimes the attitude springs up in the spring. Sometimes they want to be a hot boy, a hot girl during the summertime. Sometimes they fall back in the fall. Do they feel like a winner or a loser in the winter? I have to get to know somebody. I have to pay attention to how it is that they communicate. Everybody's not an extrovert. Everybody's not an introvert. Everybody's not an ambivert. And I have to understand this, that being different doesn't mean being deficient. Come on, family, type different is okay. Different is okay. Different does not mean deficient. And here's the thing, there's a difference between a man and a woman. And because there's a difference between a man and a woman and how we are wired differently, we're going to think differently. We're going to communicate differently. And I need you to hear me. That's okay. She's not your homeboy, bruh. He's not your homegirl, sis. Right? I know you, yeah, it's okay to be a homie, lover, friend. I get it. That's the narrative. I get it. One all in one. But to a certain degree, doesn't mean that it's all one person in that particular aspect. Scripture says this, Proverbs 21 verse 9, it's better to live on a corner of the roof than with a brawling and a contentious woman in a wide house. A contentious woman is like a constant dripping. I don't know if you ever seen that water faucet that you got that you know you need to call in maintenance. It's a slow leak. It just drip, 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 drip. I mean, just you really hear when the house is quiet. That thing is just aggravating, it's nagging to me. Better live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. Are you a wife or are you a knife? Yes, my brother too. Are you a husband or are you a hammer? We're talking today, though, about communication, how to speak the language of your man. Let's get into it. Number one, men oftentimes just want to get to the point. In terms of conversation, he's thinking about what's the direction. Number one, direction in conversation. Number one, direction in conversation. Men oftentimes just want to get to the point. In terms of conversation, here's the thing. When there is a goal that is achieved, in his mind, I got to the point, the conversation ends. In the workspace, because as I have mentioned before, men, based upon research, how many words a man on average uses in a day, they say about 10,000. 5,000 of those words are used at his place of work, his place of employment. In the workplace, where men can generally feel particularly competitive, they don't feel like there's a need for niceties. They don't feel like there's a need for necessarily pointless chatter. Conversation doesn't need to be long, doesn't necessarily need to be flowing. Ends, in many cases, when they get to the particular conclusion. Ends when they get to the particular goal of whatever it is on the conversation. That's how men oftentimes communicate. I'm communicating with an end goal in mind. Women, on the other hand, remember I said just because we're different doesn't mean we are deficient. Doesn't mean that any one of us is better than the other or more right than the other person. Women, on the other hand, more likely to have longer conversations. It is what it is. Generally, these conversations are going to involve personal life, family members, health, weekend plans, what you and your significant other may be doing, how it is going with your children. right? All of those particular things. As I mentioned before, ask a man how his day was. Scripture is going to be totally different than how your day is explained as a queen. We're having this king queen. Let's have some real critical king queen conversation here. Sometimes in your level of conversation, got to ask yourself this question. Am I communicating with my man like he's one of my girlfriends? Come on. Got to ask yourself that particular question. Is that how you're communicating? Am I communicating with him like he's just one of my girls? One of my homegirls? And sometimes we're so used to that to where you're asking him, all it is, huh? What? Mm-hmm. Yep. He's really trying to lean in and be responsive, be receptive. But sometimes, got to ask yourself the question, do I communicate with him like he's just one of my glorified girlfriends? In order to do that, sometimes you got to unlearn to relearn. Because at the end of the day, he's not your girlfriend. He's not your sorority sister. He's not your BFF from third grade. That's your man. That's your love interest. That's your spouse in your house. Doesn't mean you can't talk about those particular things. But what level are you leaning in more on one particular angle than the other? Women oftentimes communicate from a level of feelings. Men oftentimes communicate from the level of facts. Oftentimes we can see the communication as an end goal. Communication having direction. I'm going in this particular lane, straight on. Sometimes women is going to be a zigzag. Might be cyclical. Might be all over the place to eventually get to the particular point. No one of us is better than all of us, but we do have to bring into account, who am I communicating with? How do they respond when I am communicating? Secondly, men generally like to know, secondly, what is the importance of what you're about to say? Sometimes to alert the man that you're talking to, sometimes to alert your particular love interest as you're communicating with your man. Sometimes you just got to let us know, hey, what I'm saying to you is something that I need your close attention for. Because here's the thing. As human beings, we got a lot going on in our mind a lot of times. Sometimes, as men, we hear you, but we're not listening. It is what it is. So sometimes it's like, hey, honey, hey, babe, I want to share this something with you real quickly here. Need you to lean in. I want to get your attention on this particular thing right here. In other words, sometimes it's okay to be a little direct in the conversation. Because now what is that doing? It's arresting my attention. Because in the conversation, you have intention. I'm just trying to get you to the place to where it is that you're communicating with your man confidently, with clarity. Come on, family, type clarity. Type clarity. It's about dwelling according to knowledge. These hipping you to the game right quick. Giving you some clarity for your communication. and in your conversation. So when you're calling his attention, he's saying, all right, there's going to be some direction according and associated with it. For instance, when his boss calls him into the job, or for instance, if he's the boss calling in one of his employees, the employee, much less he knows that, all right, this is going to be a conversation with some direction. You're arresting my attention right here. I want to bring something to your awareness. I want to bring something to your attention. I want to make you aware of XYZ. So guess what? I'm really leaning in now. According to researchers, here's what it is. Women have higher concentrations of what they say the neurotransmitter dopamine in part of the brain responsible for language and for memory. How do I put that simply? Many men just don't get it as quickly as women do when it comes to communication. So, being direct. If you want something, ask. Don't hint. None of us are mind readers at all. And some men have gotten to the place to where, listen, I might ask my woman what it is that she may want to eat, and I'm headed to the store. And so she says nothing. I better bring back something. Because you ain't going to have much food to eat. Because not only, yes, she's going to taste your food, but she's going to want some of hers on her own. We got to have that particular type of telepathy as a man. As a man, it doesn't necessarily work like that. You got to specifically, in many cases, hint, be direct. You want something to ask. You want to bring something to his attention, bring something to his attention on that particular aspect. Thirdly, and I'm loving how colorful it is in here in our particular community, our YouTube community. If you're not a member of our YouTube community, I want you to go ahead and become a member. We got certain levels there. There's levels to this: VIP, royalty, OQP. We have certain badges that people have purchased, and you can become a YouTube member with that particular badge of what it is that you have. Also, we're having a super conversation. Drop a super chat. Drop a super sticker as well. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. Thirdly, don't allow the level of communication to be a distraction. What do I mean by that? I don't know if us as men naturally multitask as well as you do as women. Hard for a man to have a very deep conversation when he's watching his favorite sports team. You know how hard it is for you to have a deep conversation when you watching Bridgerton, or however you spell it, or however you pronounce it. However you'd have a deep conversation when you watching, I don't know, Real Housewives still coming on? I don't know. When you watching Basketball Wives, whatever the case may be. Same thing goes for him. Probably even more so, and maybe since y'all do multitask, might be a little bit easier. But for us as men, being able to multitask, hard to have a conversation of depth when we're tuned into our favorite sports station, when watching something, when we're working on a particular project, when we're reading a particular book, much less a newspaper. When here it is, both of us are on our phone. Because oftentimes we're communicating, even in person, through a medium. Y'all are both there, but you're not there. Got the TV going, trying to communicate about a deep issue, whatever the case may be. Trying to connect when you're communicating. Got the phones out, trying to communicate when in many cases you're disconnected. We're more connected than ever before, but in many cases more disconnected than ever before. How do we get on the same page with our level of communication? What is the best time to communicate? Sure, it's not going to be with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's just not going to happen. One eye over here, one eye on the TV screen. Now I'm looking cross-eyed. I need to know at a particular time when to communicate. Not just what you say is important, not just how you say it is important, but when you say it. Family, type how, what, and when. How you say the words is important. What you say when you're talking is important. When you say it as well is also equally important. Let me share this important message with you. Gonna take a little bit of a break. On the other side of it, it's more breakthrough. More is coming your way. Stick and stay after these messages. I'm coming right back. Are you an author or aspiring author interested in building your book? Do you want to develop as a speaker and communicator? Listen, check out my array of solutions and systems like my bestseller book blueprint and successful speaker strategies. Explore my tailor-made programs designed to nurture your purpose and grow your greatness in order to increase your ideas, your impact, and your influence. Visit us today at theeaglesacademy.com/store so you can soar. Yes, y'all. And we don't stop. Heed to those resources that you heard. Let's get back to the word. I just looked at my wrist. I got time today. When you say what you say is as important as how you say it and what you say. I got to recognize the time. Is my timing off? Yeah. Is my timing off? Next, I want to get into it. Type this. Ban the blame. Ban the blame. You're communicating with your man. You're communicating with your man. You're communicating with your husband. You communicate with your spouse in your house. I get it. Here's oftentimes what we do. Remember, I've mentioned before, you always catch more bees with honey than you will with vinegar. Same goes for your relationship, for your marriage. Isn't it interesting that when you first started dating somebody, your representative was sky high. You were alto, but you were talking like you were soprano. Yeah. You had the average type of voice tone talking to your man, but he didn't know it. For the first 6 months. He thought your voice was just sky high. Hey, honey. How are you today? Hey, babe. You know that ain't your real voice. First 6 months. He like, my goodness. She's just as sweet as pie. Representative was on. Because here's the thing, we always show our good side. We show our best side. We show our greatest side in the beginning. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. You know I'm talking, right? You said the same thing about him. Yeah, because he did the same thing. We all do it. Mm-hmm. Years down the line, months and months, past 6 months. Some of us don't even hold out that long. After 2 weeks, we showing our real colors. But some of us play the long game. And now you went from being a soprano to being a tenor. I mean, hey, bruh, I don't like that. You done lost your whole alto. You went bass and tenor now. You're really at an alto level. It's really where you are. But first 6 months you were soprano. Now you got a little fed up with some things. You a tenor and a bass. He done call you, hey babe, yeah. Oftentimes this is what we do. When we're communicating with somebody, we often open up the conversation with an attack on their poor communication skills. We open up the vault with an attack on what they're not doing that we desire for them to do. And here's the thing, that almost never works. Instead of saying, you never listen, because that's not really true. If they never listened, you would never talk to them. Instead of saying you never listen, instead of saying you never remember, you don't never remember what we talk about. You don't never do this. Really? So you just discount the times that they used to? Or you just discount the times they did? Start with a positive comment. Start with a positive compliment. Ban the blame. Because here's the thing. Especially when you're communicating with a man and you automatically start off with the negative, he's going to go on the defense. He's going to be defensive. He's going to tune out. He's going to clock out. And he's going to clock out because he sees that this connection, this relationship is a job versus that which is enjoyment, that which is enjoyable. But when I start off with that which is positive, guess what it does? Now it opens up the communication channels. It warms it up. Can I break the ice by warming it up a little bit? Say something like, here's something for you. Say something like, you know what? I know you really care about me. I know you really care about our relationship. It's no doubt that you want what's best for us. Yeah, babe. Yeah. You're right. I do. Right now I'm going to lean in a little bit more as a man. I'm going to listen a little bit more as a man. Going to pay attention a little bit more as a man. Because you started off not telling me what I'm not doing. You started off telling me what you recognize in me. That says to me, yeah, since I am doing this, let me raise the level of my game. Let me raise the level of my output. Let me raise the level of my impact and my influence, especially when it comes to us. Why? Because I'm communicating it with hopefully a tone of appreciation as well. I shouldn't be dismissive in it. Shouldn't be communicating as this person is a liability when I'm speaking to them. It should be in a place where the communication is now bringing a level of connection. What I'm saying and how I'm saying it, those two ought to intermingle. It ought to be connected. There ought to be something that is synergistic in my level of communication as a result of it. Because here's the thing. Don't nobody want to hear about how bad they are. No matter how bad they may be. And then here's the thing. If they're that bad, why are you still with them? You chose them at the end of the day. So what can I shine the light on that's good about this man, that's good in this man? I'm trying to help you, sister. Trying to help my dear sister from another mister. I'm trying to help you. Come on, communicate like the queen to the king that you call him to be. Next, family type ask. Asking it shall be given, seeking ye shall find, knocking at the door shall be open. Either way, you take the A off of ask, you take the S off of seek, you take the K off the knock. Guess what it is? It's still ask. You will never receive what you don't ask for. Ask for what you want. What I realize is this: men are programmed to solve a problem when presented with one. But here's the thing. A solution may not always be what you're after. I heard a guy say this. When his wife talks to him and she's expressing what's on her mind and he's leaning in and he's listening, after she finishes expressing everything that's on her mind, he will ask her this question. Do you want a solution to what it is that you're telling me? Do you want some advice from what it is that you're telling me? Or do you just want me to have a listening ear about this whole thing? Did you want my perspective on it? Or did you just want to just share this with me because you just want me to listen? Dwelling according to knowledge, so that there's no level of miscommunication there. There's a level of ample communication. Men are programmed to solve a problem when presented with one. But here's the thing. A solution may not always be what you're always after. Sometimes you just want to vent frustrations or talk through potential solutions. And here's what I realize. You're generally more likely to get the response that you want if you tell the man what you want from the conversation. You know what, sweetheart? I'd like you to listen to some of the options I'm considering. I'd like to get your perspective. Matter of fact, I'm dealing with this right now. I just need to talk to somebody. And hopefully it's you. Hopefully I can talk to you about it. Ask him directly what he would do if that is what you want. To get some wisdom, to get some guidance, to get some direction from what it is that you want to share with him. Nobody's a mind reader. Asking him is what's needed and what's necessary. Next, I want you to just type this. Say what you mean. Say what you mean. Say what you mean. So many women say, well, why should I have to tell him to unload the dishwasher? Why should I have to tell him to do this? Why should I have to tell him to do that? I want him to see that I'm tired so that he can just do it. He ain't paying attention. So now I'm going to put my hands on my hips. I'm going to huff and I'm going to puff. Going to be a little short. Going to be a little dismissive. Dr. Marianne Legato, she's got a book called Why Men Never Remember and Women Never Forget. She goes into saying this. You shouldn't believe that your significant other should automatically know what to do. shouldn't believe that they already automatically know what to do without you clearly expressing it. Say what you mean. He need to know what I mean by my thoughts. He need to know what I mean when I cut my eyes. He need to know what I mean when I give him 3 snaps in the neck roll. He need to know what I mean. You can't automatically know. You can't automatically be sure that your significant other automatically knows what it is that you need if you're not clearly expressing it. In her words, she says this: it's lovely when the people in our lives anticipate our needs. That's a beautiful thing. If the person can anticipate your needs, wonderful, amazing, phenomenal. That doesn't always happen. And so she says, expecting it without going to the trouble of making our needs known is nothing more than setting a trap. Oh yeah, you're trying to get them caught up in a level of confusion. You ever heard somebody say, all you had to do was just ask me. All you had to do was just tell me. All you had to do was just say it. You have to say what you mean. Every man is not going to be able to read your body language. Sometimes it's misread. And there's always miscommunication when you don't communicate what your particular needs are. If you didn't see my session on his needs, her needs, go ahead and check that out. It's one of the series I did. It's a serious series. Go check that out. Next, I want you to write this. We're talking Manglish. How to speak the language of your man. You speaking French, that's not his language. You speaking Mandarin, that's not his language. You talking to him like you talking to one of your girlfriends, that's not his language. Your language has a lane. Am I in the lane that's going to cause the level of communication to crash? Or are we going to cruise? We going to crash or we going to cruise based upon the way that we are communicating with one another? What lane am I in based upon the language that I use? My language dictates the level of where it is that I go. Don't make generalities. Don't generalize by saying, you don't never finish on time. Don't bring up, here's the thing. Don't bring up past history. Oh yeah, I know you know how to go into your mental filing cabinet. On this day, this particular month, this particular year, at this particular time, I know you know it. Oh yeah, that's just like the last time that you forgot my birthday 10 years ago. Let me throw both my hands. Let me exit stage left. Now you put me on the defensive. Is my level of language and my level of communication accusatory? And here's the thing. A lot of times that's easier said than done. Rather than always reaching for the past, can I remain in the present moment and stick to the subject at hand? Because here's the thing, you're in a present moment, but why are you in a present moment communicating to the man from the past? Why are you in the present moment communicating to him about what happened in the past? Either you forgave it, either you forgave him, or you're using it to hold it over his head. Which one is it? Hello, somebody. It's tight, but it's going to be all right. Are you making generalities? Are you baiting him into a conversation only to bring up something from the past? You know that's gaslighting, right? You continue to bring up too many situations, continue to bring up too many negative discussions. Chances of a positive interaction gonna be very slim to none. I need to be in the present moment in the level of the communication. If you said you forgave him, stop holding over his head, which should be under his feet. Let me move on. Next, connect as you communicate. I remember I taught a session one time in a seminar. It's called The Power of Partnership or something of that nature. And I was using a particular slide that showed a teacher talking to her class. Teacher said that it's my job to talk, but it's your job to listen. My job to talk, your job to listen. And here's the thing. Oftentimes, a woman can bring that mindset into a relationship. Not all women. My job to talk, your job to listen. Woman can bring that type of mentality and mindset into a relationship. And here's the thing, as a result, a man will always finish his job before you finish yours. What do I mean by that? He'll stop listening before you finish talking. Men do have a desire to connect in communication, but we will generally tune out more when it comes to conversations that are incriminating, to conversations that where he's never able to get in his own thoughts, much less his words. Sometimes a few short talks are better than long, dragged out conversation. Sometimes we're talking and we're really not getting feedback at all. We just want to be heard. But here's the thing. Is my level of communication when I'm talking, do I provide an opportunity for somebody to give me feedback? Do I provide an opportunity for somebody to interject? Do I provide an opportunity for somebody to actually have a receptive ear to what it is that I'm saying? Am I connecting when I'm communicating? Sometimes you have to really learn the listener. Got to learn the listener. I mean, boiling down sometimes your conversation. Maybe it's a 5-minute conversation. Maybe it's a 10-minute conversation. Maybe it is the fact that it's not a 60-minute conversation. Because generally, it's going to be repetitive. I don't know if you've ever said something to somebody and you've ever been in a conversation with somebody and all they did was repeat for the whole half an hour that they talked. They running in circles the whole time in the conversation for communication. Not being succinct. Not getting to the point. What's the end of what it is that you're trying to engage? You're more so on the side of emotional. He's more on the side that is logical. Getting to the point sometimes in the conversation. Maybe you're blaming him for not being able to remember so much in the conversation because you're saying so much at one time to where he can't even digest it all. Put a 5-course meal in front of me, but I don't have the whole appetite. I've already used all of my words, particularly throughout my day. I know your word bank is longer than mine. I know your word bank is bigger than mine. Do we have to talk about everything in one particular instance? Or can we talk about it? Can we chunk it? And then can we break it down and actually be able to get to a resolution about it, much less hear each other out? And sometimes it's not so much that anything is wrong, but how can we even improve that which is right and make it even better? Next, respect his thinking. Do you respect the man's thinking? Do you respect the man's decision making? Are you a woman who wants to be led and lead at the same time? Hear me. Are you somebody who wants to be led and lead at the same time? Can't have both. For you, love is your oxygen. For us as men, respect is our oxygen. Just like you want to be desired, just like you want to be adored, men want to be affirmed. Men want to be respected. Men want to know that in your mind, you see him as capable. You see him as competent. And because of that, now you're compassionate. It's not that we don't want love at all, but we see love through the lens and the prism of respect. And when people don't feel loved, when people don't feel respected, rather, here's what they do. They get defensive. And when they're defensive, they seem like jerks. When they're defensive, it tends to ruin the good vibe. When they're defensive, now we don't move into conflict resolution. Now we move into irreconcilable differences. And here's the thing. Many of us were not taught how to manage our emotions. Weren't taught, even to a further degree, of particular conflict resolution strategies. And what we have to do in our level of communication, we got to stop attacking our partner. Got to stop attacking our partner and start attacking the pattern and the problem. You've made the person the problem. What is the problem? And what is the particular pattern of what it is that we want to break? Because if the person is the problem, why are you with the person? What's the problem between you two? What is the pattern of what it is that is taking place? How do you get to a level of conflict resolution? Sometimes his silence seems so loud simply because he isn't saying a word. But could it possibly be that he's not as necessarily quick to communicate as you because he's taking his time to process his level of thinking? Oftentimes when men are thinking, we're not speaking at the same time. Men don't go external to express. We reach within. Men don't always verbalize, rather we oftentimes internalize. Women got an issue. She getting on the phone. Gonna find it, gonna talk about it to her man, she gonna talk about it to her girlfriends, she gonna talk about it to somebody, she gonna go to counseling, she gonna go to therapy. Oftentimes us as men, we don't do that. We don't operate in that manner. Whenever we're going through something, this is what you generally hear. Absolutely nothing. We're taking time to process. Sometimes even when things are going good, that might be just exactly what you hear. Nothing. Taking the time to process, because we process not externally, we process internally. One thing that you need to realize about frustration within a man. One of the main reasons why men go silent, especially during conflict, is because maybe it is that they're frustrated by their inability to articulate with clarity their feelings. Maybe it is that he's frustrated with the conversation. Maybe he feels as if he's really not being heard. Or you're making generalizations. Or you don't really see things from his lens, from his particular perspective. Or it could possibly be that maybe you're not taking accountability for whatever it is that you're dealing with. Here's one thing that we realize as men as well, that oftentimes anything that we say can and will be used against us. Oh, it is what it is. Most men have dealt with a woman who have used what he said against him. And so here it is. You tell him to open up. You say it's a safe space. But he's sometimes walking on eggshells. But sometimes he's playing the long game to see, do you really mean what you say? To where if I really express to you what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, will you really use it against me? And so as a result of it, to protect you, we realize this, that our words don't have receipts. A man would rather be silent and protect you from his anger, protect you from his harsh words, protect you from the way that he may say it, which may not land the right way with you, than to further alienate you. And then now he's in a place of regret because of what he said, knowing that his words don't have receipts, knowing that you might bring up that again and remind them of what he said and how he said it, when he said it, where he was when he said it. So to say, listen, I don't even want to get into any back and forth. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut right here. I'd rather hold my peace. Frustration, protection. Then there's a level of introspection. Sometimes there's a delay because we want to use the right words when we communicate. In order to use the right words when we communicate, this is what we have to do. We don't communicate externally, we communicate internally. So what do we have to do? We have to look within and take a little bit of time to ponder in order to process. You got to dwell according to knowledge. You can't communicate properly with your man if you don't learn your man. And here's the thing, when a man feels like he can't win with you due to a disagreement, this is what he will do. He will shut down. Did you hear what I'm telling you? Many of you who are watching me may know this, may realize this. You feel like he can't win with you. Listen, I'd rather just take the L. If the L is shutting down, oh well. Because anything that I say can and will be used against me in your court of law. So he feels defeated. And here's the thing. If a man feels like, here's a harsh truth alert, HTC, hard truth conversation, HTA, hard truth alert. If a man feels like he can't communicate with you and win, he will find somebody who he can communicate with and win. He will find somebody that he can communicate to and win with. He will find somebody who he can communicate to, who will not judge him. You can say it's right, you can say it's wrong. But I'm keeping it real. Family, type peace. Here's what men realize. These are things that men wish you knew, may not tell you. So I'm telling you for them. For our brothers. Different doesn't mean deficient. But there will be deficiencies if we don't recognize the differences. Here's the thing. Most men hate arguing. They know they can't out argue you. We know that. So here's the thing. What would we rather do? We'd rather shut down to avoid the uneasiness of conflict. We already know it's going to be conflict at the job oftentimes. We know it's going to be conflict maybe in the community. We know there's going to be conflict when trying to work our purpose and work our vision and make this money and do this, increase our sales and develop our business. We know there's going to be conflict in those particular areas, but we don't want there to be conflict when it comes to communicating with you. Ain't got time to out argue you. He knows he's not going to win that battle. But here's a battle that he knows he'll win. You can't out-silence him. He can't out-argue you. You can't out-silence him. So guess what he would do? He would rather opt out than deal with an op. He'd rather opt out than deal with the opposition of what it is that he may experience from you. Here's what you got to do. If you love a man, you got to lean into the man. If you love a man, you got to learn a man. If you love a man, you got to listen to him. Family, I just need you to type this. Love, lean, listen. If you love a man, you got to lean into him. If you love a man, you got to learn a man. Type listen. If you love a man, got to learn a man. If you love a man, you got to lean into him. If you love a man, you have to listen to him. If you really respect his thinking, if you really expect his decision making, why would you do the opposite of what it is that he's suggesting? You asked him for his advice. You told him, based upon the advice that you give me, this is what I'm going to do. Then when he turns around, when he looks up, you're doing the exact opposite of what he told you. But you asked him for his advice. You told him that I'm going to do X, Y, Z based upon what it is that you tell me. What does that tell him? You don't listen to him. What does that tell him? You really didn't lean in. What does that tell him? You don't respect what he says. What does that mean? You don't really love me, because if you love me, you'd respect me. You really don't respect my level of thinking, my decision making. Woo! Who am I talking to? I hope it's you. So what should a woman do? As a man, I like to communicate with direction. Manglish. How to communicate and talk to your man. Okay, talk to the man so you understand the man. How to speak the language of your man. Of course, you definitely want to pray for him. Of course you want to do that. You want to pray for him. What are you saying to God concerning your man? Are you praying for his wisdom? Are you praying for his favor? Are you praying for his leadership? Are you praying for his increase? Are you praying for revelation? Are you praying for the relationship with not just you, but that his relationship grows stronger with God? You ought to want the man to love God more than he loves you. Uh-oh. Come on. Do you want to be led by God, or are you trying to lead him? Let me say it twice because it's also nice. Do you want him to be led by God, or are you trying to lead that man? I'm not just praying for my relationship with him. I'm praying for praying for his relationship with God. If he's my leader, the stronger that he grows closer to God is the better he's going to be able to lead me. Praying for him. I want you to partner with him. What a man really desires in his relationship with his significant other, with the wife in his life, is for the fulfillment of his purpose. You are a helpmate. What vision do you see that he has that you can help him fulfill? Can you roll up your sleeves? Can you get in the game? Can you help him to win? Do you understand this? More than just words, it's your works. It's your actions that are the greatest form of communication to a man. You asked him for his advice, but your actions express that, nah, I don't need it. Greatest form of communication to a man is not in your words, is in your works, is in your particular actions. Praying for him, partnering with him, reminding him of who he is. As a woman, you want affection. As men, we need affirmation. As a woman, you need affection. As men, we need affirmation. You want to be reminded of how pretty you are. You want to be reminded of how beautiful you are. You want to be reminded of how great you look in that dress. Just like you want to be reminded of how beautiful you are, a man needs to be reminded of how important, how purposeful, and how powerful he is. Speaking to the king in him. Speaking to the prince, or are you talking down to him to make him feel like a pauper? Are you talking to him like a king or like a kid? Your job is not to be his second mama. You can only remind him of who he is if you have taken the time to learn, to lean in, and to listen. What does that mean? I'm getting to the place to where I'm studying, I'm observing, I'm discovering who he is. I'm listening to him. Gotta say this to yourself. Boy, he really used to talk. Why did he stop? Why did he stop? Used to be real excited to be in my company. Why not anymore? One of the things that builds trust in a man's heart is simply for the ability that you express for him to be heard. It's for him to feel as if he's understood by the woman that is in his life, by the woman who says that she loves him. If you can't listen, he's going to find somebody else who will. Last but surely not least, family type counsel. 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 Counsel him. No, I'm not telling you to be his counselor. What I'm telling you is to give him sound advice. And the key thing is wisdom. Proverbs refers to wisdom as a woman. Look throughout the book of Proverbs. Wisdom is referred to as her. Wisdom is referred to as she. A woman is likened to wisdom in the Bible. Smart woman knows what to say. But hear me, a wise woman knows how to say it, where to say it, and when to say it. Do you know how to be a wise woman? Family, just type wise woman. Wise woman is not a cutter, she's a consoler. A wise woman is not a knife, she's a wife. A wise woman is not a headache, she's a helpmate. A wise woman knows how to speak Manglish. A wise woman knows how to listen, not to necessarily respond, but to listen, to have a listening ear. Wise woman knows how to communicate with confidence. Wise woman knows how to have dexterity in her level of communication. Wise woman knows how to communicate, to bring communication without complication. A wise woman knows how to address an issue in love. Wise woman is not a bitter woman. A wise woman is a better woman. Come on, family, type stronger, type wiser, type better. What kind of woman are you? Are you that Proverbs woman who is wise? A wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish woman teareth it down. When you communicate with a man, do you communicate in a level of being foolish? Do you tear it down with your hands? Do you tear it down with your words? Do you tear it down by how you cut your eyes? Do you tear it down with your attitude? Or here it is, do you build him up? Do you make him feel bigger, better, and brighter? Do you build him up? You're a builder. A wise woman buildeth. You're a constructor. You're a developer. What are you doing to build that man? To build up, his confidence. To build up him to feel encouraged, to build him up, to feel as if he's the Superman, the champion, the king, being spoken to by a wise queen. Come on, every queen type, I'm a builder. Every queen type, I'm a builder. I'm a builder. I'm not breaking a man down. I'm building him up. I'm not breaking him. I'm building him. I'm not hurting him. I'm healing him with the words that I use. The words that I use are not to abuse. The words that I use are to improve. Using the right language to be able to speak to the man that you love, that is in your life. What you say makes the difference. Well, what he say to me make the difference too. Do you hear what I'm saying? How I'm talking to you? I got plenty of content on that. You can binge watch that another time. We're talking about how to talk to your man in a level with language that lifts, because it expresses that you listen, you've leaned in, and you've learned them. I hope you got something from today. This courageous conversation that we've had. We've been having a super conversation. I hope you sow into it. It's a good time to sow into it. A house divided against itself cannot stand. We're better together. You are not opponents. You are teammates. And teamwork is what will make the dream work. Once you sow into this word that you've heard today, you're not a quarrelsome woman. You're a quality woman. Better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a quarrelsome woman in a wide house. No. You're not a quarrelsome woman. You're a quality woman. You're a quality man. You're a quality king. You're a quality queen. And you're deserving of OQP. Only quality people. Too many of us have had only quarrelsome people. Hello, somebody. No. Only quality people now. In this season, in this space, in this refined level of your life. Oftentimes, men have learned how to treat women. Doesn't mean that they always treat them the best. We should. We got to do better. An evolved man, an emotionally intelligent man, has a desire to do so. We've learned how to treat women, but oftentimes women have not been given the practical tools, strategies, and steps of how to treat the man. She only knows how to be treated. We ought to treat each other with that level that says, you're valuable, you're powerful. I'm better as a result of you being in my life. Not a husband, but I'm a hammer. Not a hammer, but I'm a husband. Not a wife of strife, but I'm a wife that improves your life. Not a cutter, but a consoler. Really a helpmate that can alleviate headaches. And that's what it's all about. Family, I want you to sow into this word. You can do it via Super Chat, Super Sticker, Cash App, $Access Identity, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr at Gmail. You can do that there. And as you're sowing, I want you to sow into restoration of relationships. I want you to sow into love. I want you to sow into that which has a receptive ear to listen. I want you to sow into powerful levels of communication that God is restoring. God is developing. God is preparing you for who he has for you. He's preparing you. He's giving you these strategies. He's giving you these skills. So that I can dwell according to knowledge and really be better together with who he has for me. I don't want to curse what God has blessed. And I do that if I'm not adequately prepared. To be able to love who it is that I say that I love. Sow via Super Chat, sow via Super Sticker. I want you to name your seed as you're sowing your seed. I believe that God's going to meet your need. He's going to supply all of your need according to his riches and glory. I'm connecting to you and joining my faith to yours, that God does 30, 60, 100 fold in your life, in and through you. Thank you for your Super Chat, your Super Sticker. Thank you for sowing, even electronically, via Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. Links are in the chat. Links are in the description as well. Family, if you're not a part of my Eagles community, we go to an even greater level than here. Go right now. Soar with us. Take a flight into your future. By going to theeaglesacademy.com, when you get there, tap the Join Now button. I want you to fill out the form. I guarantee you're going to be transformed. Sure will. Become a member of our YouTube channel. We got certain levels here. 3 tiers, VIP, royalty, OQP. And you say, well, what do I get for joining? I'm so glad that you asked. A lot of information that I'm sharing that I don't necessarily share, particularly on my channel, for everybody to be able to have access to. Behind the scenes content, up close and personal footage, things that you won't see posted on my social media, none of that other stuff. It's exclusively for my YouTube members. Membership has its privileges. Let's connect in a different way beyond just this area here. Go ahead, do that. And I'm looking forward to seeing your face in our Eagles digital space. Family, in the mix is out of time. Whew. But believe it or not, I'm not out of truth. Was this helpful to somebody today? Woo! Sometimes you got to have some hard truth conversations. But it's still all love. I communicate in love. It's not to break you. It's not to bash you. Yeah, it's to build you. It's to bless you. And I hope you were built. And I hope you are blessed. I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I want to thank you for rolling with me. Why? Because that's just how we roll. And we do that each and every single Monday through Friday, every weekday for In the Mix, right here on the YouTube side. Why don't you make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe. Come on, hit the like button on this. Hit the thumbs up button on this. We've shown enough went into overtime today. Yeah, but it's growing time. So as you're here on the YouTube side, don't be a ghost follower now. Come on, hit the subscribe button. Time out. Don't be a ghost follower. Yeah. I want you to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to the channel, so you can be locked and loaded and get all of the alerts. as well. Follow me on social media at EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. If I can help you, if I can serve you in any way, please reach out to me. I'd love to come and speak at your event. Yeah. Looking for a dynamic speaker? Invite me. Love to come and speak at your event, with your conference, your college, your community center, your church, your school, your session. Let's make progression. Your graduation as well. Let's make progression. Email me, info@eddieconnor.com. And I got drip for sale. Yeah, come on. Hit me up about my apparel. I'd love to get some of our Eagles community apparel into your hand and on your back. That's right. Yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother from another mother. Family, it's been fun, but a brother gotta run. I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, and a whole lot brighter. Peace. And yeah, a lot of love too. Keep soaring higher. Let's soar beyond my YouTube channel. If you want something that goes beyond here, you're in for a treat. I have a private mentorship group where I coach, where I teach, and I provide live Q&A insight in our interactive breakout sessions. It's where I challenge you with innovative exercises to develop your skill set. And I provide feedback to foster your growth. We break it all down to build you up in our private Zoom room as we focus on transformative topics with accountability partners who really desire to grow their greatness by soaring into success and greater purpose. Come on, soar to new heights with us in our Eagles Academy. Get your wings to win, and let's soar into more at theeaglesacademy.com.